It's March 13th. Sorry, it's Saturday, March 14th. And this is day 124 for this blacklisted dialysis patient serving an unethical sentence. I've been here about an hour. Yeah, I've been here about an hour. And we're just waiting. We're waiting up in our normal spot. Yeah. My area, my stuff. Look, the area in which I'm sitting, I am not confused that this is not my area, but it is where I choose to wait. It is also the area that company XYZ said, I know I'm not supposed to sit and wait here. This is actually it is an open area. I like coming here because, oh, it even says lounge. What do you know? Oh. Well, at any rate, I like coming here because most of the time the only people that really come up here are employees. They come, they take their break, and typically on this floor, they just come and just sit down here. We got one today. They park their stuff, and then they just, if they can do that, and this isn't a staff area, why am I not afforded the opportunity to come here? Company XYZ literally told the other company ABC that I am not to sit up here. It happens to be where they contract their unit. Now, mind you, contract, they don't own the floor. They literally contract the unit. And they said I can't sit up here. The way this place is structured, I believe floors 2 on up all have what we call the atrium area. Because it's literally like a glass area, glass enclosure, almost. And this is, yeah. And I sit and I just wait because I wait for hours. So instead of me getting sick again, I was sick a total of a month. First time I was sick for 3.5 weeks. Second time I was sick for a week. Sitting downstairs in their ED rapid care area where they know any and everything is coming through the door. Oftentimes it's contagious. And I'm sitting there masked up and I still got sick. I said, no more. I will not. I will check in. I will see the providers that I need to see. And for my wait time, I will wait where there's not coughing, sneezing, and all that other riffraff going on. Not doing it. And just to give context, I hadn't been doing it the last few months because we were in winter and it's cold and it's nice outside today, but it's still a little chilly. But literally they would allow me to go sit in my car outside across the street or wherever I parked on the campus, anywhere. It could have been way behind the hospital. But for the wait, so if company ABC didn't care what I said, why does company XYZ care? Why do you care what's going on outside of your unit instead of paying attention to what's going on inside of it? That probably explains a lot as to why so much has gone on inside of your unit. You're too busy focusing on things that pertain to you not. You're too busy worried about all the wrong stuff. You need to be focused and fixated on what you're supposed to be doing correctly to continue to save the lives. And not worried about where or who is sitting outside on the floor. Now, it's not directly outside the unit either. And to keep this in context, let's see if we can do a tour today. I'd love to do a tour when it's like totally empty. This is how far it is for me. I'm going to the floor just in case so we don't get nobody. But again, that says lounge. So this is how far it is from me to where company X, Y, and Z is. Hey, how you doing? You live up the street, you said, right? Mm-hmm. I finally saw those. Those look nice. Oh, yeah. They're real nice. You good? Yeah, you. I'm good. I'm coming back. I'm just doing a little. Okay, so anyway, that's a former person. Now, mind you, up here is where you can go. And again, I'm gonna walk past it, but this is how far it takes to get to right there. You see that? To the left. Let me go just pan it just so you can see again. That's the unit. And again, when you come off of the elevators, depending on which one you come off of, which side, right? You can make a left or a right, but I go this way. I don't even go toward the unit. And now, mind you, here I come back to where it says lounge. And I sit in that area. And that's a problem. Now, what the true problem is instead of the common sense kicking in, right? The cop could be instead of the unit. Now, what ends up happening is I sit up here until I'm notified by company A, B, and C that they're ready to come and get me at X, Y, and Z time. Now, mind you, they typically 95% of the time miss the mark on the time they give me. They'll say, oh, they're going to come and get you in an hour, and it'll be 2 hours. Literally. Hour and a half, hour and 45. Never, just like, I never understand how stuff is so scheduled in there. But yet and still, and I know things can happen. People can come off early, they can maybe need to be longer. I understand that. But it just seems really weird when I get up there and there's hardly anybody in there. It kind of always makes me believe that. And I see, this is the one thing about over here, and it's probably what they really don't like, is then they don't want to just operate in truth. Patients that are transported that are in hospital, right? Like most of them are, they're in a bed. And they're not on this floor. They go this way because the staff elevator is this way. So that's about it. And I can tell you that I've literally seen people leaving and going, and it still makes me just wonder, why doesn't anybody just look at their treatment sheets and see what's going on, and see if there's a reason why I must always be your last individual. Makes no sense to me. You're still going to make the mistakes. When the nurse dug into the trash can, I was about the last one in there. But as the manager of the unit said, that person was just having a moment. So you literally pulled meds. You scanned meds when I first got there after I told you I'd take them at the end. You scanned them anyway. You pulled them. You put them on the floating tray. The tech threw them away. Tech said she thought that I had taken them already. You then go in the trash can without gloves, digging for these meds. Now, imagine how grossed out I am. Number one, this nurse is digging in a trash can at a hemodialysis unit with no gloves, and in a trash can that I spit in when I came up there. In a trash can that typically has blood stuff in there, gauzes with blood and just whatever. And you just go digging in there free-willing, like that's what you do in your house and or at your job. And you were the charge. And that was very sick and very scary. And the answer that I get for that from the manager, now mind you, they never called me about that situation. I was not called. There was no follow-up whatsoever. Had another incident. They calling on that one. When two of us went up at the same time, and miraculously 2 people came off at the same time, and they said it was a miracle, kind of thing. And had I been sitting up here, I probably would have seen otherwise, but it is what it is. And so I was a little disappointed, especially in the answer I was given. They happened to be training a new transporter, so they both came at the same time. How convenient, right? All the miracle, everything was taking place that day. And the response that I got was, oh, it was a miracle. 2 people came off, and then the charge nurse tells me, and it wouldn't have made sense for us to come down there twice to get you guys. Yes, it does make sense, because that is what you've been doing for months. So now all of a sudden it doesn't make sense? Okay, well, how does it make sense for me to be sitting up on the same floor where your unit is, and you still want me to go back downstairs and have your transport wait to come and get me. And the excuse that I was giving was just, it was funny because the clinical administrator and I were discussing this, because what kind of sense does it make? She's saving you time and money. I'm not outside their unit. I'm not bothering them. They don't even know I'm here. That's a funny thing. You don't even, how do you, only, that's not true. I've seen the transporter twice, actually. So he probably knows I'm here. But other than that, I'm not bothering him, and he's not bothering me. So make it make sense. Like, how is it not saving him time? She's right there. I'll go get her. And as soon as you have availability, you can get me. But instead, you have to, we have to get in touch with the nurse in rapid care, and sometimes they don't answer. And I could do a test call right now. We'd see. Yes, because they're busy sometimes. Although there was, when I came up, there was one person down there. It was not busy. Parking lot did not reflect what it looked like in the ED, but sometimes when that happens, it could be busy over in pediatrics. But nonetheless, it did not look busy at all. And so, here I wait. That doesn't, and I'm not saying because they're not busy in the ED, they're not busy up in in the hemodialysis unit either. But what I'm saying is that certain things just don't make sense at all. And if you're just, you want to control me completely, and you cannot. You cannot. You need to focus on the things that you can control, because you're not even doing a good job there. That's what we're having problems with, is that the stuff that y'all are doing. Like, what would you do if your nurse dug in the trash can and then never washed their hands, touches the nurse's station? This is a hospital. Touches the nurse's station. It's sick people. You touching everything. You touched the phone, called somebody. Oh, and on top of that, my doctor never knew about these thrown away meds. I was told, we got to get a new order. Who did you get the order from the new meds? He never even knew. Because you gave me the ones you threw away in the trash can. And remember when you were dispensing it with no gloves and that one little med flew behind you? Yeah, that was my signal, that girl, embrace, I got you. From my God, that you about to get the meds that was in the trash can. Now, yes, they were in a package, but still, absolutely disgusting. That nurse should never work in healthcare anywhere. Like, who does that? And why would you do that? Right in front of everybody. You didn't care. You didn't give a damn. You was just like, okay, we own this place. And that's how they act. They act like they own the hospital, which is absolutely insane. But they only do that because the hospital allows them to. So with the whole, me sitting up here, I said, look, I didn't start off doing this. I was sick for a total of a month. I said, I'm not sitting down there again. Several of the doctors that I saw said that. It's unfortunate that's what that you have the situation. And several of the people in rapid care, charge nurses included, think it's a great idea for me not to be down there, for me to be up here. I'm not bothering anyone. No one's bothering me. I wasn't bothering anybody downstairs either. But to know that you have somebody that's already compromised, that doesn't need to be sitting down in a sea of sickness, I did it for as long as I could. 10 months was good enough. And it was enough torture. So no, I'm going to sit up here, be as mad as you want to be. And I asked them, I said, doesn't that seem strange to y'all? That these people are having a hissy fit because I am sitting somewhere where they can't even see me and don't even know. The problem for them now is that, because before they did it with they didn't do it without an issue at all. They'd call, we're going to come get her whatever time or whatever ETA they gave. They would call me. I might be in my car. I might be down in the cafeteria. I'd be somewhere in the hospital, right? Somewhere on the grounds. And they'd let me know. So why y'all having a problem when I'm on the 5th floor? That's what all I want to know. Why? You don't own it. You contract it. I know they make you feel like an owner, but you're not. So I don't know. It's this in itself went too far. Now it's like even going further. It's like we're going to do whatever we want to do. We don't care about your complaints. We're going to trigger you. We're going to always ask you how are things going, and it's hell. Look how nice it is. It's very nice out. I know this isn't the greatest of the views. Let me see if I can go this way. But it's really, really nice. And I'm here. And I'm going to be here like an employee all day for a 4-hour treatment. And then I have to watch all the stuff that they don't do and do. And then I'm told, maybe you should just learn how to turn turn your head the other way. Look the other way. And I said, oh, okay, let's work with that. Because, okay, if I'm asking for help and this is the help you're sending and this is what your help says, well, let me just be sure I'm clear. You want me to turn my head the other way when your nurse goes in the trash can without gloves, jigs for megs, and then gives them to me and don't tell my doctor? You want me to turn my head the other way when the nurse didn't give me the heparin I was supposed to receive within 15 minutes of my treatment. The machine clotted. In my chart, it showed you that heparin had not been given. It was still an upcoming medication, but yet and still she's saying she gave it to me. Work undocumented is work undone. And that's just odd that you actually gave me heparin and it didn't do what it was supposed to do, that I just clotted any old way. But it does show that it wasn't given. Well, should I look the other way? Then, maybe I should look the other way when the nurse is dispersing the meds and they fall into the bed. Because this one particular pack, they're slippery. And if you're not just smart and disperse it over a wide mouth type of cup or a receptacle or something, then the little small one, you better have good aim. You better, make sure that it doesn't projectile out. And it did, into the bed I was laying in. She then wanted me to take it. And I told her, I said, I will absolutely not. I had perfect aim. It went straight into the trash can. And I said, and I hope you do not document that you gave me that. Never gave me another one. Never. Didn't give me another med. So that day I did not get the doses that I was prescribed to give. And it's so funny because these people don't seem to understand that an order is an order. Nurses don't get the right to alter it, but they do here. Well, they do in dialysis. They do whatever they want. So it's like, yeah. So at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. You watch it, and it's just like, would y'all do this if the Joint Commission was here? I mean, if the state that cared and you weren't in bed with them actually came, and would y'all be doing that? With the infectious control people, you think he would have dug in the trash and it would have been okay for him to touch everything? Went into the med room, touched the door. I'm thinking there's a sink in the med room. Why would there not be a hand washing sink in the med room? Guess what? There's not. So hands were never washed. Doctor was never notified. So I'm just trying to figure out, maybe I should have looked the other way when I was given. Now this just takes the cake. So transport comes to get me, right? One of the things, they had to call me. I went down. Well, as I'm downstairs, transport's right there. So, I go ahead, I sit down for them to take me back on up. For us to come back where I just came from. That's the funny thing. But whatever. Your time, your money. So transport then says, you should hold this since it's yours and your name's on it. I think I'm actually going to put a screenshot up here of what it was, but I will also tell you what it was. We'll need to edit out some stuff, but we're going to put a screenshot. I was literally given a bag of an antibiotic that they were giving me, IV, straight supposed to be sterile, straight says refrigerated and was warm as all get up. And a transporter gave me this. Transporters do not transport medication. I'm talking about the transporters that transport people. There was no nurse. And here's the even crazier thing. So if I'm walking along the street and I see two people jump off the bridge, am I supposed to jump just because I saw them? That's not the way it goes with me. No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to turn around and go the other way. But needless to say, the transporter was given this by a nurse in Rapid Care. So what I don't understand is your training was not new. Was new to this location, but not new to transporting from other hospitals. You don't know you ain't supposed to handle medication? Oh, I forgot. Your company X, Y, and Z. Y'all do whatever y'all want. You can do surgeries. You can put access in. I couldn't believe that. And then on top of that, what do? You take it and you're not supposed to. Then you give it to the patient simply because they have my name on it. So when I go upstairs, I get upstairs and I couldn't believe it. I should have taken a video. I took a picture. I didn't take a video. I'm holding this medication. And when I get up there, I say to the charge nurse, is there any reason why I am bringing this up here? She acted like she didn't hear me. When I went over to my location where I was going to be, my nurse comes over. I say the same thing. She laughed. I put it on the tray and thought, well, if I put it up there, maybe somebody will throw it away. Because that's typically what they do, right? Then they'll just dig in the trash can with their hand and get it out. But, yeah, I'm like, what am I supposed to look away from? There were so many things wrong with that. So many people who should have pink slips. That's not okay. That's not okay. And for whoever that nurse was, why didn't your transporter have enough know-with-all to say, I can't take that? And then for those of y'all saying, why didn't you? I just took it. I did, just like him. I just took it. I mean, and for me, I'm thinking, well, maybe they're doing some new stuff until I knew that's supposed to be sterile. And especially when they say refrigerated and it wasn't. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be. It was, at the end of the day, it was medication. No, neither of us was supposed to be handling that. So, I mean, and the list goes on. There's more. There's so much more right here, reporting from this location. And I think company X, Y, and Z thought that, this was going to be better, that I would have to go to the hospital. And yeah, because, I mean, to be honest, they've done worse things here than they did in the center. For real. Like, this is bad, and it's terrible because it's the hospital. Your elite staff should be here. Your elite folks. Folks should know the rules that work here, especially in that unit, the contracted unit, for the floor that they think they own. Anyway, I'm going to post this on YouTube because it's very long. It's 21 minutes. I don't think I can do the whole thing on there, but I'm going to try. So, in the interim, again, it's Saturday, March 24th, and this is day 124 of the unethical sentence for this blacklisted dialysis patient.